So from here, what I would like to do is something that I call visualization. So when I was much younger, I heard this very interesting story, and that is that if we are feeling sick and we imagine in our minds, like in a cartoon version of our germs being attacked by our white blood cells and our white blood cells beating up our germs, then we actually get better faster. It's sort of like the placebo effect. It activates our immune system to work harder when we visualize our immune system defeating the evil germs that have come in to make us sick. And in a similar way, I use visualizations in the classroom as a way for exploring new ideas. Normally, I ask my students to either look at the floor or close their eyes during a visualization. For you, it's your call if you want to close your eyes or keep them open. I'm just going to be asking a couple questions. So you're going to answer them for yourself. You don't need to record them anywhere, but I feel like it can be helpful in sort of getting ready for thinking deeply about teaching and learning. So the first question is, so feel free to close your eyes or keep them open, as I said earlier. The first question is, why do I teach? Why do we teach? What's my purpose? So after each question, I'm going to give a little bit of time so we can sift around the ideas in our minds. Why teach? If the students already know the material that we are presenting, is teaching taking place? What was missing from our own education? What would we have liked but was not there? As teachers, what different hats do we wear each day? Psychologist, nurse, parent, what kind of different hats do we wear? What were we like in elementary school? Sorry? What kind of student were we? What kind of student were we in middle school? And what kind of student were we in high school? What kind of teacher would have been best for us at those different times in our lives? What would be the ideal teacher at those times? And the last one, in my presence, I would like my students to feel how? How would I like my students to feel? Mm-hmm. So I'd like your feedback on the visualization. Do you think it's something useful to just throw out questions and have people think?
Yeah. It's really nice.
I think it's nice because it's low stakes, right? It's not like someone asks you a question and you need to produce something on paper or in with your voice. You can just think about it. And they found that one of the things that is so important and is missing in a lot of schools is thinking time, right? And if we imagine how we are sort of in every moment standing on the shoulders of giants, right? We're standing on the shoulders of our ancestors who created and discovered all of this knowledge and created these technologies and all these kind of things. So we already have so much. In order to process it and to create something new, a creative twist on what is, we need thinking time. And I feel like as teachers, it's something to consider. Where's our thinking time for our students in our classrooms? So I've talked to teachers in the past, and one of the questions that's really interesting is, what's the purpose of school? And oftentimes people will talk about the future, preparing for what's ahead. But as we're all adults and we look back on our own childhood itself was extremely valuable, right? It's a tremendous amount of time in our lives. It's a really incredible time. Childhood doesn't just exist to prepare for adulthood. Childhood itself is of value, right? So it's an idea. The idea is to think about that school is not just to prepare for the future. School in itself should be joyful. School in itself should be a place where it's what's happening and what's going on is not just a purpose. The purpose is not aimed for tomorrow. It itself on today, it has a tremendous amount of value. So that's also something to think about, that you know, the more present we can be and the more joyful we can joyful practices we can bring to our students, those will stick in the long term into their adulthood, right? So we are preparing children for the kind of lives they're going to have. We don't want a life that's only about tomorrow. And if people get into that habit of mind, they get into their first career and they're already thinking about retirement, right? It's too much future oriented thinking. So that's something else to consider.